In this video, we're gonna make this outdated kitchen look absolutely stunning. We're gonna do new countertops, new backsplash, new doors, new hardware, soft close hinges, new pantry cabinets for extra storage, and existing boxes get professionally painted. I'm gonna give away all of my secrets on how to do it on a budget and the entire process in details. Here's where it starts. I made a quick sketch with the door layout and measured all of those badly painted oak doors. Second step, we Google MDF door suppliers in our area and we'll get a call around to ask for pricing and timelines. In my case, I got them for $5 per square foot, that's in US dollars. And for $10 to $15 a square foot, you can get them painted as well if you're not into DIY on that. We paint all of our MDF doors ourselves in the shop, and so far I spent $600 plus the $200 on materials, and that rounds up around $800 so far. Next up, we gotta do the same with the countertops. Call around, send them your rough sketch with the measurements, along with the picture of style and texture you want to go with, and get some prices by email. In our case, we went with the same quartz materials on the backsplash. On this stage, you would round up totaling around $3,800 so far. As I said before, we finish our doors ourselves in the shop with a 2-component polyurethane from Italy. But if you get them painted from the shop, all you have to do is drill the hinges on the back side, and you can easily do it with this tool right here. It's a drill jig from Craig, super easy to use. You're gonna love working with it. Amazon link down below. And with that said, we're moving on to the in-house part. Day one on site, let me show you around. So this is the prep work that we did. First, we did the floors. Always, we protect the floors. Countertops, very important to protect all the countertops. And this is the way we protect the boxes. But it's a pretty simple process. We stick the tape to the back side of the frame, and on the bottom, we run the tape first, protecting the surface, and then we do another line of tape that kind of sticks out, and then we attach our plastic to the tape. And then we put another tape to sandwich our plastic in between the two tapes. Flake-resistant plastic, that's very important, so the primer doesn't flake off when you apply your finish coat. We got all of the boxes, all the old crappy boxes removed, and these pantry boxes are gonna go on this wall along with the fridge, the existing fridge on the right side, just so we have a lot more storage in here. That's what we were lacking before. Protecting the walls. No matter how strong your paint on the wall is, we gotta make sure that we protect it with the right type of tape. And we prefer to use yellow frog tape. It has very low adhesion, which is great. And we're gonna go over with the flake-resistant plastic and white tape that sticks really well to the yellow tape. Thus we have the best of both worlds. First, the low adhesion, so we don't pull off the paint, and our plastic sticks really well with the white tape, so the walls stay protected. I would recommend to do double protection on your appliances. You don't want to end up scraping the paint off of the appliances, so what we did here, we did both paper and plastic on our wrench hood, just to make sure that this is very well protected and we don't waste any time trying to clean it up after. Here's what we did to the cabinets. These old cabinets were previously finished. The homeowners or clients tried to paint them themselves. This is regular acrylic paint with some sort of a nice oil-based primer or whatever. So the grain is filled here. There's no deep open grain, but what we did is we sanded everything pretty aggressively, and in some of the areas where the paint was loose, we got down to the bare wood. This is the way we mask off the dishwasher. We kind of go from both sides so we can open and close it and get access to the sides. So these guys can be finished as well from the inside. When we spray the upper boxes, instead of putting poly all around the perimeter on the ceiling, we use these spray shields. Sometimes we use regular cardboard, and sometimes we just use regular floor paper, fold it in half. So what's gonna happen up here is when I point my spray fan up here, it's gonna bounce right back down and the overspray won't get on the ceiling. Very quick, very easy, very well protected. Look at this bad boy right here. We got to the bare wood pretty much everywhere here. Holy smokes. That was a lot of oil here, but all this stuff holds up pretty good. Airflow. When you spray on site, the most important thing is airflow. So that guy right there, our powerful fan, extracts everything right out of here, but we create a lot of negative pressure in the booth, in the kitchen area. So we gotta make sure that we have enough air coming in, and we kind of run our airflow across the entire kitchen. So we do have a little bit of air coming in through here, and also we have some more air coming in through that way. This way, nothing gets outside of the booth. This negative pressure helps us keep all the other parts of the house very clean. Look at this plastic wall up here. So what we use for here is just regular extension poles with that foam pad up on top. And that's extremely important. When you have a standard small plate up on top, you can easily push through the ceiling and make a huge hole, make a big mess. We've done it before, we know what we're talking about. So we replaced those small ones with a long padded platform, and now look at that. It's stable and it has enough surface to stay tight up on the ceiling and hold our plastic wall, even though it's pretty long and pretty big. Look at that. Plastic on the light fixtures, and you have no risk of getting any overspray on this light fixture. Here's what we're running on the job site. It's an airless sprayer, one of my favorite guys. We don't do any air assists, any HVLPs on here, just because this stuff applies enough material, it's fast enough, it's very easy to use, and it's pretty much unbreakable. I mean, compared with all the other rigs, this has the least amount of problems out of all of them. This is Graco 395, 308 FFLP tip, and we use 2K poly all day long. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put my spray suit on and pull the trigger. Everything's gonna be brand new in this kitchen. First, we got the new countertops installed, backsplash made out of the same quartz, new doors finished with 2K poly. All the frames on the boxes got filled and finished with the 2K poly. The only thing that I'm kind of not really happy with, maybe we should do a little bonus, do a little Christmas gift to the clients. Nathan, do you think we should replace the doors with the soft sliders?
Oh yeah, I think they're gonna love it.
One of the last stages, we installed the doors on both new cabinets and on the existing ones. There's a little bit of a difference in terms of hinges and the plates for the hinges, and we have some useful tips in the other videos on how to do that. Look at that. Self-close hinges everywhere. No more slamming. And we have a full video on how to install handles as well. This is basically a brand new kitchen that's worth at least 25K just for the cabinetry itself, if we were to start from scratch. But we saved a lot of money to the clients, so they must be happy. Let's go show you something else. You open up a drawer, it's still that old drawer that our clients don't really mind. All of them are soft close now. It's a brand new kitchen, I told you guys. And now it's time to call our clients and see what they think. Have a look.
Holy smokes, that's insane.
It took a lot of time, but we managed to make them all soft close.
Oh gosh, that's awesome.
All the hinges are soft close, just like you want it.
Perfect.
And awesome. We have a ton of storage now. We have a bunch of shelves in there.
That's amazing.
And they're all yours.
Thank you.